Hello, I'm Rick Bine from IUPUI in the Geography Department, and going to take you to another part of the U.S., and this is in Florida. I was in Florida doing my research there, and master's and dissertation research theses, and was living in a city called Gainesville, where the university was. And so it was interesting that, yes, the University of Florida there, and they call themselves the Gators. Of course, we know what gators are. They're short for the alligators. And alligator is a species that lives all through this southeastern United States, from South Florida all the way over into Alabama, East Texas, in these areas. So it's a species there. It's different from a crocodile, but it's similar, cousin, but it's an alligator. And the only place they have them is in the southeast United States. But at the University of Florida, they had a lake there named Lake Alice, and alligators lived in it. It was right on the campus. They were proud of that. That was their logo for their sports and all that. They were the Gators, and they had their real live gators living there in this lake. And one of the things they got a little careless with was this water hyacinths. There's a vegetation that covers the top of the water. It doesn't have any roots or anything, but it just sits there and gets its nutrients out of the water, takes oxygen out of the water. And as it takes over, it grows over, and it clogs up rivers and other things, but in this case, it clogged up the lake. And in the process, it sucked all the oxygen out of the lake. And that didn't bother the alligators, but their fish all died. And that's what the alligators survived on, was eating fish. And so they had to find some alternative food. And so the alligators are really kind of a fish farmer in a way. They normally kind of manage the amount of fish that are there. If they don't have many, they stop. They diet for a month or so until the fish population builds back up. But they tried that, but they ran out of fish completely, and they were getting even more hungry. So they started wandering around the campus looking for alternative food. And fortunately, that wasn't people. They don't like humans very much. They've drowned people before, climbing on when they're swimming, but they don't really eat people. But anyway, what they did find they liked were dogs. And they were hunting the campus for dogs. And this little old lady was walking one evening and walking her dog around one of the sinkholes here. And as she walked around, she looked back, and her dog had turned into an alligator. And the leash from the dog was now coming out of the alligator's mouth. Needless to say, she let the alligator keep the leash. But this is a practice. The alligators are all over Florida. Down here, they have this ecological arrangement where they actually, in the Everglades, it's absolutely flat, and maybe withstanding 2 feet of water throughout the whole Everglade area. The alligators live there, but in order to live there, they create these big ponds in their tails. They dig these holes and create fish farms there. And in the meantime, what do they do with the stuff they've dug out? They make little islands, and the locals call them hummocks. And so you got these little hummocks all over the Everglades where the alligators built that up. And in the hummocks, they're above the water, a couple feet high, and that's where the alligators lay their eggs. And meanwhile, a whole bunch of other creatures live there, little deer, other animals, birds, everything's just living in there thanks to the alligators. So the alligator is a critical species to the Everglades and much of the southeast United States.